Hello, everyone. How are we? I'm just getting myself in the center of the picture. How is everyone today? Welcome, welcome. It is Technique Tuesday. Today is the 14th of January, 2025. And I have a feeling this year is going to race by. So we need to jump in and make the most of it, right? How is everyone going today? I can see we've got lots of people here in the comments. I see Margaret is not with us today because she's unpacking after moving house this morning. So, well, actually yesterday. So they're in full swing unpacking, she said. So Margaret, if you're watching this later, I hope it went well. I hope it went really smoothly. We have lots and lots of friends here. Good morning, Monique. What are you doing here? Isn't it the middle of the night over there in Europe? Yeah, go to sleep. Susan said go to sleep. Exactly right. 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Sheila, hi. How is New Zealand today? We have Janine from Colorado. Hi, welcome. We have lots and lots and lots of friends, and I'm not going to be able to say everyone individually. I'm so sorry. But I hope that you're all enjoying the summer weather. It's warm here today, but not as hot as yesterday. So I'm happy about that because this craft room I wouldn't have wanted to work here yesterday afternoon. It was just so hot. But I've got the fan on, and I think we're going to be okay. I've been busy cleaning. Oh my goodness, I'm doing lots and lots of cleaning. I have a launch event here tomorrow to launch the brand new catalogue. And so I have been just reorganizing and moving things around and just trying to get things to look the way I want them to look so that tomorrow will feel like a whole new space. Hey, Roz, how are you? Oh, that's okay. No, we haven't had much pre-talk today. Not much at all. And we're going to get pretty quickly into it. Hey, Janine, nice to see you. How are you up in Brisbane? I sent a message to Cherie before this, and I don't think she's seen it. So I'm guessing Cherie's not with us right now. The reason that I sent Cherie a message was because it's Cherie's fault that we're doing the technique we're doing today. I love it when some people who watch me also send me ideas for future videos. And Cherie sent me she sent me a link to Lonnie Spendlove's fabulous video on fault line cards. Now, I don't know if anyone's seen it. I have put the link to her video in the description underneath the YouTube video. So if you wanted to go and check out her video, of course, she's done all the measurements in inches. And if that suits you better, then that might be the one you need. I will refer to those measurements today, but I'm actually going to be doing, of course, mine in metric because that's what we use here in Australia. So you've had 3 days over 40. That's too hot, Leslie. Oh, Leslie, did you get your products yet? Have they arrived and were you happy with everything? I hope so. That's exciting. I love it when I see people on here who I know have bought some products, some new things from me, and it's lovely to see. And I hope that you're enjoying what you've ordered. So you're interested to see what a fault line card is. Well, let me show you. Let's switch over to the desk. Let's get going. And, oh, it's a little bit crooked. Let me get that straight. I don't like crooked. Don't like it. All right. So I've actually made a couple of cards up with this technique already, and I did a couple pretty much the same as it, very similar to each other, using the same paper, just as my practice ones. This is a fault line card, okay, and you can see why it's called a fault line card. Okay, can you see that? So we've got this like beautiful DSP here in the middle and this fun, ripped, kind of torn edge, okay, which is what creates the look of the fault line. Aren't these cool? I love this. All right. So as soon as I saw it, because Cherie sent me the link and said, hey, you know, this is a great video. And I'm like, it sure is a great video. It would make a fabulous Technique Tuesday. So that's why I'm doing this one today. Does that make sense? They are fun. They're really fun. And I'm going to show you, Jen. I think that you'll really like doing these. You can use any DSP you have. And I know you guys have all got lots and lots and lots of DSP just hanging around waiting to be used, right? Of course, I'm going to use some new DSP today to show you how gorgeous it is. But you can use any DSP, anything you might happen to have. Okay, so this was one sample. Then I did another one. same colors, same DSP, just different sheets from the same DSP pack. This is the Floral Delight paper that is in our current mini. So let me just quickly show it to you. It's all this lovely yellow and white and green and Pool Party. I just love this paper. It does actually, when you look at the, where is it? The first page of this, where the samples are on page 33, it does give you the main colors down here in the paper. Okay, so you've got Peach Pie, Daffodil Delight, Lemon Lolly, Old Olive, Pool Party, Pecan Pie, and of course white. Okay, and can I suggest that gold looks really nice with this paper as well? So if you love this paper like I do, and Janine said she could see it having a river or ice flow in the center. Absolutely, you could. You could certainly do that. It's like the card is opened up organically in a second. Well, it's interesting that you use the word organically, because when I was listening to Lonnie's video, that's a word she used about how the ripped edges kind of create this organic look. And I think we'll be using the word organic, might be the word of the day. Because, yeah. Oh, yes, you Leslies must stick together. Absolutely. You're an inches girl. Is that right? Well, then you might really enjoy Lonnie's fabulous video. Now, Lonnie did not only a couple of versions of the card, and she actually used several, like at the end, she's got some different samples using different papers. But the one that she used, I'm just trying to remember. Actually, I just gone completely blank which one she used in the video. Hang on, and I'll tell you. Because I've got it open on my page here. The one that she mostly was using was the Wildflower Birthday, you know, the pinks, the pink gingham and the beautiful pinks with the gold. So she used that one. And so I thought, well, I'll use some different ones so that you can see how nice this is. But I've only used one DSP here, whereas she was using two contrasting DSPs. I just used one, and instead of using a DSP piece in here, I used some cardstock. Okay, now there are pros and cons to using cardstock rather than DSP. First of all, having an extra cardstock layer in here adds to the thickness of the card. Okay, so does that make sense? So if you're using DSP layers, your card is a bit lighter. Not that it really matters, but anyway, let's make one. Let's make one up, and I'm going to do the same as what I've done with that. And I've picked a different paper. This time I picked the Storybook Moments paper. Because I just love this piece here with the Lost Lagoon and all the little swirls. I just think it's so beautiful. Now, this is from the Storybook Moments set, which is just in here. Let me find it. All right, so the stuff about Storybook Moments starts on page 23 of the mini. If you don't have one of these mini catalogs, please send me an email. All the details are below the YouTube video with my email address, okay? Because I would love you to have one of these in your hands. Yes, it's lovely to look at it online and see all the things, and to go shopping in the online store is fabulous. It's very easy to do. However, there's something really magic about having the print catalog in your hands. And I don't know about anybody else around here, but I just love, you know, sitting down with a cup of coffee or whatever your beverage of choice is, and helping yourself to some lovely browsing of a physical catalog. There's nothing like it. Okay, so everyone feels differently, I know, and maybe some people prefer to shop on, certainly we do our shopping online, but maybe some people feel that, how do people feel like that? I'd love to hear in the comments, do you prefer to look at a physical catalogue, or do you prefer to look at it online? That's a good question. I know the pink gingham is so pretty, Leslie. I agree, totally agree. Oh, hello, Linda from Minnesota. Nice to have you with us. Hello, Elizabeth. How are you? And we've got Lorraine and Barbara here too. We've got lots of friends, which is always good. So this is the Storybook Moments paper that I was looking at. And I've actually got that here. Let me show it to you just really quickly. So this is the one I've been playing with the last couple of videos I've done. And this is the particular paper that I'm using here. Look how, I'll bring it up a bit closer. Look how nice that is. Isn't that beautiful? Love, love, love it. Okay. And then we've got little squirrels on the other side, which is an animal that we do not have in Australia. We have a lot of weird and wonderful animals that nobody else has, but we don't have squirrels. And Roz says she needs a physical catalogue. Elizabeth says physical. Sheila says need to see a catalogue. You mean a physical catalogue? Leslie says physical catalogue. Yep, it looks like everyone's the same as me. We're really loving the physical catalogues. Then we've got this little one. You can see we've already used this piece here, but this one is ready to chop up and use all the different panels on cards, and which makes it really, really easy. This is really good paper to work with, okay? On the back, we've got like an old olive leafy kind of design. We've got some veggies, and then on the back we've got little houses, little cottages, and these little English cottages, super cute. All right, very Beatrix Potter kind of elements in here, more gardeny things. If you have garden pages and you wanted garden photos and you want to scrapbook them, this is great paper for this. This is actually the paper I got with the sticker sheet that is actually meant to be used with scrapbooking, but you can use it for cards, as you can see me doing, right? Yeah, coffee and a caddy. What can be better? I know, right? We do. We have koalas and wombats and kangaroos and lots of, numbats and bandicoots, and I could go on forever. Really, what we do have, but we don't have squirrels. You like to have a catalogue, Jen? That's good that I sent you one then. You're finding the new format a little challenging. It's like anything. You get used to it. I know I should, we are all lamenting maybe the old way, but here's the thing. If Stampin' Up! Just continue to do things the old way and just stick with all that, okay, they'll get left behind. I can promise you. So they have to keep moving with the times, and they have to keep changing, because that's how you move forward. If you stay in the same place and just do the same thing, you don't move forward, and you just wither away where you are. So yeah, they need to keep moving, and I'm really glad they do that, because that's what's going to keep our company in business. And if they stay in business, then I do too. So I'm pretty keen for them to do that. Strawberries on the back, bunnies on the front, and we're nearly to the end. Another sheet of that. There's 2 sheets of everything. They're the squirrels again. Showed you that one already. And then we have the pages of die cuts. All right, now the die cut pages are great because you can just push them out and use them on a card. And there's lots of like little critters. We decided the other night that these are stoats, otherwise known as ermines, but yeah, stoats apparently. And we don't have those in Australia either. Lots of things we don't have. Okay, we do have plenty of rabbits because we didn't have those, but someone brought them over, so they got introduced to the country. Hey, Diane, nice to have you with us. It's a good time for you, this, isn't it? You like to sit on your bed and look through when you get the new catalogue. I know that's a pretty nice thing to do, isn't it? Yeah, look, a lot of people feel that way, and that's why Stampin' Up! Have assured us they are not getting rid of physical catalogues. They're going to keep doing them. But here's the interesting thing, okay, that the online exclusives have actually been doing a little bit better than the catalogue products. There's something I only found out today. So there you go. That's straight from the sales department at Stampin' Up! That the online exclusive stuff are doing a little bit better. So people obviously are responding well to those. All right, so this is what I'm working with right now. And this is the piece of paper you can see here. I've already cut these to size. So let's do the measurements together for the fault line card. First of all, okay, in Australia, I'm using A4, so metric, which is 21 centimeters wide. Okay, so in the US, it's 8.5 by 11, correct? So that means 4 1/4 is the halfway point. And in Australia, 10.5 centimeters is the halfway point. So 10.5 centimeters, okay, across will give me 2 pieces or 2 cards out of 1 sheet of A4. Okay, so I've cut it lengthwise. And then actually let's just do one from scratch so that you can see me do it rather than me showing you one I've already done. So I'm cutting it at 10.5 wide. And then I'm going to put the arm of my trimmer out, and I'm going to cut this now at 24 centimeters. In US sizing, it's going to be 9.5 long. So shorter, this much shorter. That's the bit I cut off. Shorter than a regular card, okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this in at the 14.8 mark, which is what my normal halfway point of a full length piece is. I'm going to get my cutting blade out of the way, and I'm going to score it at 14.8, okay? So that means this piece here on the front, this side of the score, is actually the same size as a normal card. But when I fold this over, you'll see that my card is shorter at the front than it is at the back. Okay, so this is my basic card base for this card. Then I've also got, there are only 4 pieces that you need, okay? I've also got a piece of white cardstock. This is, okay, this is thick white for the base. And then I've got a piece of basic white, not the thick, just the normal basic white, okay? You're glad there's at least one pest that didn't make it to Australia. Yes, we don't have squirrels. That's correct. Yeah, I've heard that. I know what my mother-in-law, because my mother-in-law lives in Michigan, and I know what she thinks when the squirrels eat from her bird feeders. Not much, I would say. It is interesting about online, isn't it, Michelle? I know. I heard that this morning and thought that's really interesting. Okay, so here's the thing. This piece here is going to be, this is going to go inside the card. Okay, this piece. So we're not going to use it just yet, but I'll be coming back to this piece. But I have measured this to be the same width. So this is a piece of basic white that is also 10.5 wide, the same width as the base. Okay, but it is 14.5 long. Okay, so a little bit shorter than the card front. Okay, so let's come back to that and you'll see why in a minute. Then I've got 2 more pieces. Now both of these are also 10.5 wide. Once again, they're the same. Okay, so 10.5. This one's 10.5 by 8. So 10.5 wide by 8. And this one is 10.5 by 10.5. It's an actual square. Okay, now I could actually get away with this being a little bit shorter, but I actually thought having it as a square makes it easy. Okay, that way you haven't got to worry about which way it goes, especially unless you have paper that needs to go a particular direction. So for example, this one, the boughs or the branches are actually going up. So that one really does need to go in a specific direction. This one, it doesn't. It doesn't matter which way they go. And this one, it doesn't either. Okay, so if you had paper that's directional, you will need to make sure you have it facing the right way when we come time. So let's start. And this is where we get to have some fun. First off, let's use our bone folder and go over the edge. Okay, so that's pretty important. You need to make sure it's a nice flat fold. And then I'm going to put this is Pretty Peacock, this color. Okay, so this is 10.5 by 8. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it on the front of my card. Not actually stick it with glue, but just hold it on the front of my card like this. And you can see I'm just a little bit up from the bottom, okay, and a little tiny bit down from the top. So I've got it sort of sitting on the front here. And I'm going to come up to the top. Now, because I have 2 layers of cardstock, the thick and this piece, it might be hard to start. But once you get going, it's easy. What we're going to do is going to rip it. Okay, so I'm going to start here about 1 centimeter down from the top or thereabouts. Actually, about 1 centimeter down from the very top. And I'm going to pull this towards me. It will be hard because it's 2 layers of cardstock. And if you need help to get started, you just, kind of push it. And now what I want to do is make sure that this stays together. Okay, so I don't want it to come apart. I'm going to rip it and I'm going to have it going from this top corner to down to this corner. And I'm going to pull it towards me. But I'm ripping both at the same time. All right, so like that. All right, does that make sense what we've just done? Lorraine, it's really hard to get home. I used to try and say hello to everyone, and I realized that's impossible, and I just can't, especially when I'm crafting and I'm not watching all the time either. Hey, Marty, nice to see you. Oh, that's okay. No trouble. Okay, so we're making fault line cards today. Right, so now this one, okay, I want this to go behind here, and I'm going to line up these edges. So this edge is in time, or in line, I should say, and I'm going to have it so that it's about, oh, look, it's up to you, but it's around about 1/4 of an inch or 0.7 of a centimeter sticking out. So you want to have like a reasonable little bit there showing, okay? I'm going to be gluing that into place. So what I'm going to do is I'm kind of come here. I'm just going to use Seal today. You can use any glue you like, but Seal's nice and quick and easy. So I'm just going to use Seal, and I'm just going to put that straight up there like that. All right, and I'm going to position it so it's right there on the edge. All right, you don't want to have your seal too close. you don't want to have it too close to the edge, okay, because we're going to muck around. Excuse me, we're going to muck around with this edge to create this fault line look, okay? So you don't want it to be too close. You want to be down a little bit from the edge, right? And then, you know, don't need to worry about gluing all of this in place because we're going to be covering that in the end anyway, okay? But we want these two to be right there. And then this one, okay, going to put the white on top, and we're going to have this one about the same amount again, okay? So you're going to have that one, so it's sticking out from here. So let's put this on the back, not too close to the edge again. All right, can you see how far away I've put the glue? Hang on, have I got my light on? Yeah, I do have my light on. All right, can you kind of see where the glue is? It's not super close to the edge. We've got a bit of room to move. All right, and I'm going to move that down. I'm lining up those edges so that they're exactly right. All right, like that. Does that make sense what we've done? So this one and this one now are going to end up like this to make the front of the card. Okay, so how do we do that? We grab this piece. Now, because I've 10.5 by 10.5, it doesn't matter which way it goes. And I'm going to put this, don't glue it down, okay? You don't want to do that. If you glue it down, you're going to glue your card shut, and then it's not going to be any fun because you won't be able to open it. All right, so I'm just going to put that right there, and I'm going to put some glue on the back here. Once again, don't go too close to the edge. And I'm going to close that so it glues down onto this piece. Okay, can you see how that now is starting to come together? Don't worry if there's any glue showing out here. It doesn't matter. We're going to be covering that up. It's fine. All right. And then same with this one. Now this one, once again, don't go too close. And I'm going to be lining up the bottom corners with each other so that this forms the front of the card, and it also lines up with the edge there. Now, if anything sticks down, don't panic. It's going to be okay. There's a little bit of glue sticking out there, and that's okay. That's what this piece is for, okay? It's going to cover up the mess that we've got going on behind here. But because it's a couple of millimeters, we made it 4.5. And remember, the score line was at 14.8. So if this is 14.5, it's actually 3 millimeters shorter, which is perfect, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue all the way around here. Okay, and I'm going to put this into the corner, but I'm going to make it so it is short. It's a little bit short of the score line in the middle. Okay, I don't want it too close, because if I put it right in the middle, the card will buckle, and we don't want the card to buckle. We want it to be right. Okay, now not only is my card no longer flimsy because it just had a DSP piece in the middle there, it's nice and strong, but we now have our fault lines. Now it looks okay, right? You get it now. Ah, there you go. It's really clever, I know. I thought this was really fun. So then, I have a good tip for you for this, okay? We're going to have some fun with this. This is the fun part. You're going to actually be rolling this back, okay? Now, you can do it just with your fingers, and you can start with, you know, either the white, or you can start with the pretty peacock. It doesn't matter which way, okay? Can you see that because I didn't go too close to the edge, I've got plenty of room there, and I can start rolling it. Okay, and you can rip it a little bit, which looks rather good. That's where the word organic comes in, because if you're ripping and folding, it kind of looks organic, right? It is easy, Sheila. It's very easy. Okay, so this is good, but if you don't have very good fingernails, mine are slowly growing back after all the damage I did to them last year. But if you don't have fingernails, here's a tip. Okay, take your pick tool. Change your pointy, pokey end to the flat end. You know, the flat tool that's on one end, like a chisel it thing. Okay, and then you can put that underneath there and lift it really easily. Okay, so it makes it really easy to get in underneath there. So use your take your pick tool, slide it in. That way you don't need to worry about having fingernails or breaking your fingernails. And you're just gonna bring that down. and you can see that's looking kind of cool. All right. Now it looks cool when you do the white edge, but really, really, really looks cool when you do both edges, like when you do both the peacock and the white. That's when it starts to come together. So let's get that. So you could do this with one layer, you know, do it, you know, just with the white and put in a piece underneath. But I think it looks so much better with the contrasting edge. So, you know, if you're going to go to the trouble of making this card, I think you definitely want to go to the trouble of adding an extra layer. Oop, that edge is a little bit close to my piece underneath. All right, so you can see it's looking okay, but it's when we add this second edge, you'll see how much better it looks. And then we might want to do a little bit of ripping. So it's actually, this is the fun part, is doing this little, you know, fiddling around with the edges here. I think this is the part that makes it all come together. And you want it to be really rough. You don't want it to look perfect or anything. In fact, the more perfect it looks, I think, the less good it would look. Don't you think? What do we think? Do you like it? Isn't this fun? It does look a bit like that, doesn't it, Sheila? I'm just going to... And this is really helpful with getting underneath if you're wanting to, you know, add, you know, make it roll back a bit further, or if you did get your glue a little bit close to the edge, then this flat edge here on your take your pick tool will really help you do that. All right, I'm liking that. Love the colors. Isn't that beautiful? I love this. I know, it's a cool technique. Thanks to Lonnie for putting this. I saw her video after Cherie sent it to me. If anyone else wants to send me any other videos they'd like me to have a go at, any new techniques, please send them my way. All right, deciding what words to add to this, because I do have a storybook, the Storybook Life set, but the only one that I might use on this, maybe the Easter Blessings, but no, none of these seem quite right for this one. So this is what more scrapbooking sayings. This is actually, this matches the Storybook Moments scrapbooking kit. So it's in the scrapbooking brochure, if you like that one. And you could, if you wanted to, put your greetings straight, or you could even have it going on an angle if you wanted to, in line with it. You've never seen this before. I hadn't seen it either, and that's why I thought it was such a good technique. And I thought, I'm so glad that Cherie sent it to me. So anyone else wanting to send me ideas for me to play around with, I do have something already lined up for next week. But yeah, sometimes I'm, you know, thinking, goodness, what technique am I going to do this Technique Tuesday? Sometimes I don't know either. All right, maybe I'll just pull in the Thinking of You from the Friends for Life stamp set, because that's a really good one. That's such a nice greeting, and I do use it quite a bit, this Thinking of You down here. It's really lovely. There's also a happy birthday in here, but I love the size and the font, the mixed font of the Thinking of You. So I'm going to do that with my pretty peacock. Whoop. To get a bit more ink. This one needs re-inking. That's what it needs. It's just really nice font. Don't you like that? And if you wanted to, you could put something up the top too. You don't have to, but let's use the same stamp set. It's got a really nice leaf, and maybe we'll put, what do you think? Should we put the leaf up the top here? That might be nice. Yeah, let's do that. So and I thought, because this is such a quick and easy thing that we've done today, I thought maybe I might do another one or two, see what we have time for. Really? Isn't that funny, Julianne? Sorry. Isn't that funny that you were only watching that just before? Well, now you can see it again right here. All right, I'm just going to pull in a couple of, deciding what bling to use on here. We've got the pretty peacock blooming pearls. Those might be nice, although I think maybe something contrasting, because I've already got a lot of pretty peacocks, so maybe something else. I can't wait for my antique pearls to show up. These light yellow actually would go nicely. There's kind of like, is that green or is it wild wheat in the middle? Hard to tell. Maybe I'll stick with the white dots because I'm not sure. So I might have one here, and then maybe another one over here, and a little guy, a little tiny one up the top. There we go, just like that. Those are the opal rounds for anyone who's wondering. The ones that go with the citrus blooms stuff, that's what those are. All right, so now we have a little collection of fault line cards that I've been mucking around with. And I've just been using, of course, you don't have to use white. You could use any color that you like. One of the ones Lonnie did on was, in fact, she also did embossing. Instead of DSP, she used embossing as one of her layers, and that looked fantastic. Actually, two of the layers. So I'm just looking through to see if I've missed any. Oh, Anne's your middle name, is it? So do you go by Julie or do you go by Julianne? Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Joan. That's awesome. All right, shall we do another one? Let's do one. And I have some more white cardstock here. So let's do another one, and I'm going to use the celebration paper. How about that? Because that celebration paper is really nice, and it hasn't been white. I don't think it's been used all that widely yet. So I'm making this 24 centimeters. Remember that? So I'm going to make it from scratch so you guys can follow along now that you know what I'm doing. And we're going to score at 14.8. Move the cutting blade out of the way and score. All right, so now we have our shorter front here on the card. And then I'm also going to have a piece of, have I got a piece of basic white? I should have. Yep, here you go. Here's some basic white. And I'm going to make that 10.5 as well. All the layers are 10.5, so they all line up, okay? But this one's going to be a bit shorter than before. We were going to make this one 14.5. Okay, so that's for the inside of the card. Remember that, we'll pop that aside for the moment. And then here's my celebration paper. It's got lots of different like florally designs in it. But the one I really like, and I think would work well for this. Where is it? Here we go. This one. So I like this, and I like this one for the contrasting piece. So we've got the Shy Shamrock, and then we've got the white with the Blackberry Bliss. There's Melon Mambo, and I think Calypso Coral in there as well. So, and there's a bit of pretty in pink. So yeah, these colors would look nice together. So this is a really nice paper pack if you're looking for a nice simple floral one. And even if you don't like all the fronts, you might like what's on the back. Okay, the backs are beautiful. I actually like the B sides better than I like the A sides. Oh, there you go. You go by Julie or Jules? Oh, there you go. I don't know if I was named after somebody. My mum just liked the name, I think. Although apparently I was going to be called Christine or Allison as well. Those names were also contenders. But the lady next door named her baby Christine just before I arrived, so that ruled that one out. And I ended up being Linda. I don't know exactly the history of it, but yeah, there you go. So anyway, as you go through these, look, isn't a peach pie nice? Peach pie is a colour I've been slow to the party with. I didn't really get it straight away, but now I absolutely love it. So you can see all the different. You're waiting for the DSP to arrive. Aha. So it's on its way, is it? And there's some more of that one. I think we've seen them all now. But it's really, really pretty, and it goes with lots of things. So let's do this one. So I'm going to make this 10.5. Remember this. The DSP piece is going to be 10.5 by 10.5. All right. So I'm keeping it. And because this paper has no specific direction, it won't matter which way it goes on my card. And then this piece here is going to be the contrasting piece. So I'm going to have that to be 10.5 as well. and I'm going to make that 8 centimeters wide. So this one is the smallest piece. Okay, this is the piece that we end up ripping back. All right, so let's, if you're wondering how do you get your hands on the celebration paper, it's a free product given to anyone who places a $100 order or more. Okay, so you can, it's one of the choices. You can choose that paper if you wish, but if you don't really love it, that's okay, because there's lots of other things to pick from. So, all right, so let's start with this. I've now got my, let me fold down with my bone folder before I go too far. And I've got this piece here. Just gonna, so I just want to have this so it's sitting right here on top. Got a little bit of room here, a little bit of room here. And I'm going to come here and I'm going to start ripping. But you'll notice straight away that because we are using DSP, it is easier to rip than cardstock. All right, so I'm going to, oh, I've really kind of really laid into it here. I've gone not as low as I meant to, but anyway, we'll see what happens. And then this one is going to go underneath here. I kind of got a little bit crooked there too, but oh well, I'm not even going to worry about that. I don't think it really matters. And this bit here, I'm going to actually just rip that back. Sorry. Right, so this bit here is going to go underneath here. And I kind of, interesting, I kind of messed this up a little bit because I'm wondering if I'd be better off turning it over because I ripped too much of the surface off. So I kind of have messed that up. Do I want to go back and do that again? I might, you know. I'm going to go back and do it again. Sorry, I'm just going to, I've got a piece left over that is big enough. I'm actually going to make a little bit wider. I'm going to go up a tiny bit. And I'm going to grab another one. Let's start over, shall we? I'm going to start with a fresh piece. All right, so at least you're getting to see from scratch how it works. 24 centimeters. I wasn't happy with how I ripped that. I've only done a few of these, so I guess it takes a little bit of practice, but it's not hard, not once you know what you're doing. Move the cutting blade out, use the scoring blade, and then make sure you burnish with your bone folder so that it sits nice and flat. And we've got our piece here. And I'm going to come towards myself here. I think this one will be better. I'm being a bit more careful this time to try and stay on track. Okay, so this is something that I didn't think about, was that when you are using DSP, you may get more of a, because our cardstock is dyed all the way through, but the DSP is not. So that's why it's got the white edge on the inside. So that's something else to think about. And they don't have to line up perfect because they're going to be folded back and ripped and smushed around anyway. So I'm going to put some, oh, look at that. The end of my roll here. Let me see if I've got some more handy. Do I have any more handy? I do. I was thinking, why does my seal not seem to be working properly? And that's because I've just come to the end of the roll. That always happens right in the middle of when you're doing a demonstration. That's what I find. So I'm going to put my seal in. If anyone's wondering how easy it is to replace seal, I'm about to show you. You take your seal refill out of the pack. And then we use the bit that's got these little sticky outy bits in. That's the official term. They're sticky outy bits. And then we put, and you can see through the other side, you put the roll straight on top of those two bits like that. And then you just put the lid back on and it's ready to go again. And I always find a seal works best when it's at its very start. Right, so let's line this up this time. And I'm going to have like about a 1/4 inch or less than a centimeter. Oh, come on, I just got a cramp in my finger. How about that? Does that happen to anybody else sometimes? Let me just get that cramp out before I... Oh my gosh. Goodness me. I do get cramps in my fingers sometimes. Don't know why. I get cramps everywhere, actually. I've always had problems with cramps. It's hereditary. My dad has terrible issues with cramps, and my grandfather used to have them as well. Now, no, it wants to cramp again. Sorry, guys. No, that's fine. You won't feel so bad. Of course not. And you're not going to screw it up necessarily. But I'll tell you what, if you do it once, then you know exactly what you did wrong. Now, if there is any glue sticking out under here, we don't worry about that because we're going to cover it up, right? So there we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing where I'm going to put the green bit underneath. And you'll see that this side, and I managed to, I'm really going to be putting that down. Oh my gosh, my fingers are really cramping today. I don't know why. Does anyone else have that problems? Oh, I'm glad you like it, Diane. That's great. All right, so I'm just going to zip up here, but I am not going to go too close to the edge. And we're going to have that sticking out. But we're lining it up with the edge of the paper. Oh, I'm really struggling because my fingers want to cramp. This doesn't normally happen to me. What do you think, guys? What's going on? All right, so we've got these bits ready to go. Even if the edges look a bit ripped and funny and yucky, don't worry about it because that's all going to be part of the look of the card, right? All right, so I've got my piece here in the middle that is 10 and a half. I was going to say 4 1/4, but no, 10 and a half wide. And that's going to be right there. You want to put it so it's about the same distance at the top as there is from the bottom. And we're not going to glue it in place. Okay, we're just going to hold it there. We're just going to leave it like that. We're going to add some glue to the top here, but once again, not too close to the edge. And I'm going to fold that over. Whoop, I'm going to try and hold that still. It's hard with my fingers cramping. Sorry. I need a helper. Oh my goodness. Now, if something happens and you haven't lined it up right, okay, let me show you what happens because I have not quite lined this up right. Can you see that I've got this edge here? Very, very simple. Once the card's together, before I roll the edges back, I'll just quickly stick that in my trimmer and just take that edge down to this edge. Okay, so that is how easy that is to fix. All right, so same with this one. We're going to line up the corners. We're going to add some glue to the back of this. And we're not going to go too close to the edge, so that we have plenty of room to more magnesium. Do you know I spray my feet with I rub my tummy with magnesium every night before I go to bed. But yes, magnesium certainly is something that I think I do need more of in my life. I actually have some magnesium bath salts, and I need to actually use them. They don't do any good if you're not actually using them. All right, so before I add the extra layer inside, which is going to make it thicker, okay, I'm actually going to take this edge down so that this is all straight and correct on this side. Whoop. What's going on with my fingers, guys? But yes, magnesium, I think, is one of those things that we just don't get enough of in our diet. So it's good to have a supplement, right? All right, so this one now is going to go just short of the fold, and because I've cut this down a little bit, I'll need to cut this down as well, but that's okay. I can do that in a minute. All right, so can you see that it's going to go over the edge there because I've cut down my card, so this piece is a bit wider. You could cut it down first if you wanted to, or we can just do it once the card's together. And here's something else. The other thing this does, apart from hiding the messy back, is this card is really flimsy because it's only got DSP in the middle, right? So that's why you want to, and I'm lining it up with one edge. And then it makes it a much sturdier card, okay? And I did see somebody ask, whether it makes your cards a lot heavier. It will make them a little heavier, and that's okay. I'm going to put it this way, and I'm going to line that up. So I've now cut off that extra bit there. All right, so this is the fun bit now where we get to, it looks messy right now, doesn't it? But that's okay. That's where we start having fun with the edges. So I'm going to use this again. And the other thing I've noticed, if you don't go too close to the edges, because that's what I told you not to do, then this seems to lift. If you need to add some more glue in there after, you can do that after the fact. So once you've folded your edges back and ripped your bits and pieces or done whatever you want. So I'm going to have this little ripped bit down here. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to have this bit as well. I'm going to rip this a bit with my fingers. Can you take magnesium in pill form? Yes, well, I'm sure you, yes, you absolutely can. Yeah, and that's something I don't do enough of, Gail. I am very bad at remembering to drink water. I had a swig of water just before I went live with this video, but then I hadn't realized I hadn't really drunk much at all today. So some days, and I have low blood pressure, and I need to not forget to drink water, because it can make dehydration can make my blood pressure really tank, and that's bad. I wake up with a headache when that happens. All right, so I'm just going to pull that back. How's it looking? What do we think? It's kind of cute, isn't it? Do you like this? And then it squashes flat, of course, you know, fits easily in a card. It's not a problem like that. You take magnesium 2 or 3 times a day for restless legs. Yes. The cream didn't help. I find magnesium oil really helps me with that, because I have restless legs when I sit down to watch TV with my husband at nighttime. That's when I get restless legs. But yeah, it's very, very helpful. If I have no magnesium oil, it stops it. I don't have any trouble sleeping either because of that. I really like how this came together. All right, so what greeting will we add? Let me see. What have we got that we can put on here? I just want to rip this bit. I want to have it ripped. Let me see. Any suggestions for a good, the carefree days of youth? I know what happened. I know, right? It's okay, Jen. It's fine. It's actually all right again now. So it comes and goes. Once I kind of work it out, it's yeah, that's probably a good idea. Magnesium powder in my drinking water. That's a great idea, Denise. I should do that. I might go see the local health store and see what they say. I'm looking for a good greeting. I mean, we've got these ones. The enjoy from here is nice, and so happy for you. Although I think one word down here might look really good. What do we think? Or, oh, I know. Beautiful butterflies. It's got some really nice ones. I thought I'd do something with the beautiful butterflies and that beautiful bokeh paper. That would look really nice in the middle here. I think that would look lovely. Let me see. We've got, in case you need me, I'm here. Time to celebrate. We've got a hello. These are all really nice. They'd look lovely on the corner of this one. Oh, good on you, Cheryl. Glad you got out. That's awesome. All right, you and I need to talk about that, Denise, I think. So I like the time to celebrate. Is that going to be too big? That might be a little bit big. And then we've also got this one that says, in case you need me, I'm here. That's nice. I think that one's nice. Let's use that one. I'm going to grab my block, which has got a million dimensional backs stuck to it. And I think I could pick any of the colours. Blackberry Bliss would look nice. Melon Mambo would look nice. I could go with the Shy Shamrock. Oh, it's so many choices. Maybe Blackberry. Let's go Blackberry. Let's do that. That's not good, is it? When you know something's hereditary. Hey, Sheila. Saying hello again. Okay. So I'm going to do the in case you need me, I'm here. And let's see what bling would look good. I know what bling would look good. I know. The purple shimmer gems have a Blackberry Bliss shimmer gem in there. Let me see if I can find them. Oh, we could also use our celebration. Oh, that might be nice too. We could use our bubble bath, you know, the light pink sequins. Those would be nice. There's also Berry Burst, but I feel like those might be a little bit heavy, a little bit. And there's also Fresh Freesia, which would go nicely. I seem to be using a lot of the Fresh Freesia. I think those are really, really nice. Or the white. The white's nice too. But let's go. Will we go pink or will we go purple? I don't know. Pink or purple? Pink or purple? I don't have arthritis yet, but I'm sure I'm in line for it. Just cramps. I've had them since I was a kid. And my dad used to have them. I remember my grandfather staying with us when I was little, and I remember him falling out, like the thunk in the middle of the night, him falling out of bed because he had a cramp. And then my dad had really, really bad cramps as well. But the doctor put him on quinine or quinine. How do you say that? Quinine tablets. I think that's what we say. Which everyone probably knows is a malaria cure. But what are people saying? Fresh Freezer said Donna. Kay said pink. I think they both look good, but Donna's first. So let's go with Fresh Freezer. Sorry, Kay. There we go. And then one of these over here and a little guy up the top. There we go, like that. And I'm going to call that a finished card. What do you think? It turned out really nice, didn't it? I mean, I know it looked like it was going to be a disaster there for a moment, but it actually worked out really, really well. So I'm very happy with that. Just going to rip it a little bit more maybe. I don't know. They're going out of shape. Yeah, I have noticed like this finger is starting to turn in. Can you see that? In fact, they both are on both hands. They're starting to turn in. So not so much the rest, but those index fingers are starting to turn. Yep. Yeah, I'm really happy with how they turned out. And thank you to Lonnie Spendlove for her beautiful demonstration. But I thought it'd be really fun to show you what I came up with. I didn't venture into the embossed ones yet, but just playing around with these is so much fun. Which one's your favorite? Which one do you like the best? What does everybody think? You're going to rip away now. Woohoo. Good, Susan. Yeah, this is a really fun technique. Yes. No. Well, I didn't finish that story, Susan. So that sounds like a plan, gin and tonics. But what happened was my dad was told to take 2 quinine tablets. And then when he did, that night, he only took 1 because Dad doesn't like taking tablets, which is really ironic because now he takes a huge amount of them. But when he was younger, he refused to take tablets. So because he was in so much pain with his cramps, he only took 1. And he woke up in the middle of the night bleeding from everywhere. Okay, now this is actually the second time this has happened. The first time it happened with because we lived on a farm, it was a herbicide called Jessiprum, which had gotten into his bloodstream, and completely he just started bleeding from everywhere. The quinine did exactly the same thing to him, and my cousin has the same thing. So it's a family thing. So his niece has the same issue, but but thankfully I don't think I have it, but I'm very careful because my dad couldn't have anything with quinine in it. They told him if he had taken the 2 tablets, it would have killed him. Thankfully, he only took the 1. So you like the last one best? This one? Oh, this one. Yeah, I actually think I like this one too. I think that turned out really nice with the celebration paper. I love the green and this paper together. I think that I've used those a couple of times now. I think they're really, really nice. I know, they turned out really good. No, well, it's the gin I can have, Susan. It's the tonic I'm not supposed to have. So just straight gin then. Your favourite colour is purple, Marty. Yeah, I can't go past these yellows. I just love them. I don't know why it is that I'm so drawn to them, but the yellows, although I think you have to be a bit careful with the green because the green can make it a bit heavy. But in this case, it works because we've got plenty of white, so that means it's okay. I'm really glad you like these. And I had a lot of fun with you today doing those. So let's come back to the main part of the camera. How did we go? Is there any questions or anything that you guys would like to know that that I can help you with? I will do the normal little housekeeping things here at the end. I'm going to put up my blog address. Okay, I'm going to put that on the screen because guess what, guys? I've got a new blog. So exciting. Okay, there it is. It's called lookwhatimade.com.au. Okay, and it's not just showing you what I made. It's look what I made as in you guys can make it too. All right, so it is my old blog revamped, so all the old content is still there. There are things that I'm still adding and changing. There will be a shop soon, like a proper shop that I can actually sell my tutorials in, which will be great because right now I'm just using a PayPal button in posts, which I'll still have to do until I'm ready to change over to the shop. But you can still sign up for the Zoom class, which is the 31st of this month, if you would like to do a Zoom class on the beautiful butterflies bundle. Information is there on the blog about that. And you can also be part of Craft Along. Now, Craft Along, let me tell you what the date is for that. And it's a fun fold card that we're doing this time. Those will be sent, the supplies for people who ordered with me last month will be sent out early next week, either the end of this week or very early. I think it's more likely early next week. But Craft Along will be Thursday the 30th at 2 p.m. Okay, so that's 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow is what that will be. And then the Zoom class is the Friday, the day after, at 2 p.m. So you might get to see me a couple of days in a row. Does anyone have any questions at all? I'll take the banner down and see if anyone has any questions for me. You like the all green one I made first on the video best. Okay. Oh, I think I know which one you mean. Okay. Right. You looked at the new blog this morning. That's great. Yeah, it's coming together. There's a couple of things I've added even since this morning. So one thing I've added since this morning is a sign up for the newsletter. That's now on the blog. That only went up mid-morning. So we're still adding elements and things like that. But I've got a gentleman in the US who's been helping me to set it all up, and he's been so helpful. So we had a little meeting this morning, and I asked him a bunch of questions, and he told me a few things that I didn't know. So that was helpful. But yes, there is a sign up form. So if you'd like to be on my newsletter to receive an email from me each week that has, video tutorials and information about what's new and any other information that I think you might enjoy, some card samples and things like that. I do those newsletters usually once a week, and one went out yesterday. One went out last night. So if you're signing up for the newsletter now, you won't see anything from me probably until next week. So there we go. All right. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Don't forget, everything I've used today is available for purchase. So if there's anything that you're after, except the celebration paper, you can't purchase that. All the sequins, those are free items with $100 spend. So they're gifts with purchase. But everything else that you've seen me use is available for sale. So head over to the online store and go shopping when you're ready. And I hope to see you guys all back again. What's today? Today's Tuesday. So I'll be back again on Friday evening, and look forward to spending my Friday evening with you. Thanks, guys. Have a great week. Bye-bye.